Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Manchester United Roma preview. It's the Europa League semi-final first leg. It's at Old Trafford, Thursday night, 8 o'clock kick-off. It's our fifth semi-final under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We've got a very good chance of winning the Europa League. Obviously, last season we got to the semi-finals. We lost 2-1 to Sevilla. We won the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. We beat Ajax in the final 2-0. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, so if we fail to win the Europa League this season, that'd be exactly 4 years without a trophy. We know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be sacked if we fail to win the Europa League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say last month that winning trophies can be an ego thing. Now, this will be the 7th time we've played Roma, and it's the first meeting in 13 years between Manchester United and Roma. We played Roma in the Champions League quarter-finals, was it back in 2007, and we beaten them 7-1. We also played Roma in the Champions Cup back in 2014. We won that game 3-2. Roma are winless in their last 4 games. They're currently sitting 7th in the Serie A. They lost their last game against Cagliari 3-2. Their current manager is Paulo Fonseca. He's been Roma manager since July 2019. Before, he's managed Shakhtar Donetsk, he's managed Braga, he's also managed Porto, and he managed another team. Obviously, Roma have got Chris Smalling. He was out with injury for like 6 weeks, but he's now back. So, I think he'll be in contention to play against Manchester United. If Smalling plays, he'll be reuniting with us. You know, we had Chris Smalling for like 10 years, or almost 10 years. Roma have also got Henrik Mkhitaryan. I presume he'll be reuniting with Manchester United. They've also got Edin Dzeko. He's a former Manchester City player. I presume he'll be in contention to play. Not so long ago, Solskjaer spoke about Manchester United facing Roma in the Europa League semi-finals, and he actually did mention that Edin Dzeko will pose the biggest threat to Manchester United. Roma have also got Javier Pastore, who I think's a very good player. They've got Lorenzo Pellegrini. They've got Brian Reynolds. I think they brought Brian Reynolds in this year. So yeah, they are some of Roma's players. I think they've got Mancini suspended for this game. They've also got Pedro. I think they've got Pedro Rodriguez. I think he's actually out with injury. We progressed to the Europa League semi-finals by obviously beating Real Sociedad. We beat AC Milan and we also beat Granada. Now we're coming into this game against Roma on the back of a 0-0 draw against Leeds. It was a poor performance by Manchester United against Leeds, but I thought in general it was a very, very poor game. Obviously, we had some chances against Leeds. I thought the best chance was the Marcus Rashford free kick that produced a good save from Meslier. Rashford also had another chance, he scuffed it wide. Mason Greenwood had a chance. And Bruno Fernandes had a chance, but it was wasteful. To be honest with you, I thought Solskjaer got it wrong against Leeds. And even Paul Scholes said he was surprised that Edinson Cavani and Paul Pogba started on the bench against Leeds. I expected Edinson Cavani and Paul Pogba to start. Leeds, their best chance of the game probably came from Elder Costa when he hit the roofing of the net. Defensively, Leeds were superb. We was really, really struggling to break them down. There was a lot of talk saying that Leeds United should have had a penalty, because obviously there was a handball by Luke Shaw. Paul Scholes actually believes that it was a penalty. But from a Leeds United perspective, they'd have been very, very delighted with the draw. But we are unbeaten in our last 24 Premier League away games. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. And we are now unbeaten in our last 6 games in all competitions. On my next video, I will be giving you my starting 11 prediction for this game against Roma. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be doing his press conference tomorrow building up to the game. But it will be a tough game against Roma. Obviously, the other semi-final is Arsenal against Villarreal. There's a very, very good chance it's going to be a Man United and Arsenal final. And I hope it is. Now, you already know the news on the transfers and that. There's a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at. Now, I recently give you the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Now, apparently, Rafael Varane is 100% committed to Real Madrid. Now, it recently said that Chelsea are the favourites to sign Rafael Varane. And he said Chelsea are prepared to pay £61 million, which is Real Madrid's asking price. He says Chelsea are ahead of us and PSG in the race. Build Christian Falk said not so long ago that Chelsea had entered the race for Raphael Varane. He says some clubs are willing to wait until next year to get Raphael Varane because obviously that's when he's available on a 3 transfer. He recently said though that we'd been handed a boost in our pursuit of Raphael Varane because Real Madrid are closing in on the signing of David Alaba from Bayern Munich. And apparently Raphael Varane prefers a move to Manchester United over PSG. Now, the other week, reports were stemming from Spain saying that Man United were in advanced talks with Raphael Varane. And Flex on Night said his move to Man United was close. And it said we was looking to lower Real Madrid's 60 million asking price. Raphael Varane's contract talks with Real Madrid have stalled. He's got just over a year left on his current contract. The Spanish transfer expert Eduardo Inda said earlier on this season that Raphael Varane could be on his way to Man United in the summer. Narratives were coming out earlier on this season saying that Real Madrid are prepared to sell Raphael Varane on one condition: he must inform Real Madrid on his decision to leave. Back in 2018, we was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. But the main explanations I'd take Varane at Manchester United is because he's a world-class centre-half, he's highly experienced, he'd complement Harry Maguire in our back line, and he would exceed expectations in the Premier League. Got a good pedigree behind him as well as a player. He's won 18 major honours as Raphael Varane at Real Madrid. He's been at Real Madrid 10 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's made over 300 appearances, and Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. There's been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda. It said a few weeks ago that Solskjaer had drawn up a 6-man centre-back shortlist. You already know the news on Declan Rice from West Ham, don't you? There was narratives coming out quite a few weeks ago saying that Declan Rice is interested in joining Manchester United. And apparently he asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford, and it said West Ham are demanding £100 million. Now, I can assure Declan Rice is not worth £100 million, but he's still a good player. I reckon he's worth from between 50 to 60 million, maybe 70 million at a push. I'd certainly take him at Manchester United. The main explanations is because he's well proven in the Premier League. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, and Manchester United are in search for a holding midfielder. So they are the reasons. And earlier on this season, it said that Solskjaer agreed with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. You know, he's been at West Ham 7 years now, is it? He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup, but he actually never got into their first team. Now, you know the news, don't you, on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. According to the bookies, Man United are the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer. Borussia Dortmund admitted earlier on this season that they'll sell Jadon Sancho for the right price. This summer, Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that the club will discuss exceptional offers for Jadon Sancho. Now, earlier on this season, it said that Borussia Dortmund had given Man United a new Jadon Sancho transfer price. It says Dortmund are open to selling him for £86 million. So they lowered their asking price because initially they was demanding 108 million, was it? But Dortmund have made it clear they won't let the players go for any cut price deals. Because earlier on this season it says we was preparing to put a £50 million bid in. But there again it said we dropped our interest in Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood. Now, like I updated you yesterday, Man United have forced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to change his transfer plans. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is expecting to make 3 key signings this summer. And he expects the Glazers to back him. Now, David Ornstein recently come out and said that Ed Woodward will leave Manchester United in the summer rather than the end of the year. Now, last week it got announced that Ed Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. I presume all United fans were happy with that announcement last week because we've been very critical of Ed Woodward for a long time. The main explanations is reflecting how poor our recruitment has been. Obviously, we've overpaid for players, and Woodward hasn't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired. Woodward will choose Manchester United's next chief executive. He said not so long ago that there's 5 candidates we could look at. But Edwin van der Sar is the favourite to replace Ed Woodward. And if Man United decided to get Edwin van der Sar in, I think that'd be the right decision by Man United because Edwin van der Sar knows the club through thick and thin because Edwin van der Sar endured 6 years at Manchester United. You know, he was with us from 2005 to 2011 as a goalkeeper. And plus Edwin van der Sar's got the experience. He's currently the CEO at Ajax at the moment. You've got to credit him for the work he's done at Ajax. Ed Woodward, though, has said he's standing by Solskjaer so many times. You know, he said earlier on this season he believes Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. And he released a statement earlier on this season, did Woodward, regarding the players in Solskjaer. He said the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. So, there you go. Now, you already know the news regarding the Glazers. Manchester United fans will protest against the Glazers before our game against Liverpool on Sunday. We recently protested against the Glazer family outside Old Trafford and our fans burnt the American flag. Not so long ago, our fans were protesting against the Glazers at Carrington and our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists the Glazer family will not sell Manchester United. And not so long ago, he told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. The Red Knights have told the Glazers to sell Manchester United. Apparently, the Glazers want £4 billion to sell the club. The Glazers have been at Manchester United for like 16 years now. They've been with us since 2005. It'd be the right decision to get them out of the club because I hate the way the football club has been run now for a while. So what we've got to do is we've got to recommend new owners in. And we've also got to recommend a new chairman in. That would probably help back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer more. I've said, Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window because obviously we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football, and we've also got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. The summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big this year's summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. I'm expecting us to make around 3 or 4 signings, and he said earlier on this season that Man United will spend big in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer did mention that he wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. He did warn earlier on this season that we may not do business as usual due to the pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that'll be a perfect fit for the club. I can assure that Solskjaer will be Man United manager in the summer transfer window and he'll be Man United manager next season. I said he does deserve another season, does Solskjaer, because progress has been made. Obviously, a lot of Manchester United fans have criticised Solskjaer and obviously they've been demanding him out of the football club. They've obviously got main explanations why they've been demanding him out of the club, but I still presume there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in and they believe that he needs more time. This is his 2nd full season. Next season will be his 3rd full season. I don't think he's a long-term manager for Man United, and I presume a lot of Man United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But obviously our board must think he's a long-term manager for the club because earlier on this season it said that Solskjaer agreed to sign a new 3-year contract worth 30 million. I think Solskjaer's got just under a year left on his current 3-year contract. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now over 2 years. Like I've said to you, I do have my concerns about Solskjaer. My 2 biggest concerns about him is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision making also concerns me. But there is also quite a lot of positives regarding Solskjaer as well. He has made good signings as Manchester United manager. He's spent almost £300 million. Hasn't got all the players that I wanted to recommend in as yet, though in that aspect the blame stems from the board. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in. This season got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. He's got us to the Europa League semi-final. We've got a very good away record in the Premier League. Last season, his 1st full season, he guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish and got us qualification for the Champions League. I also like the way he has promoted the youth. And he's beaten quite a few big name managers as Manchester United manager. And in general, we've enjoyed good periods where we have seen consistency, and we are sitting second in the Premier League. We're probably going to finish second in the Premier League this season. We're not going to win the league because obviously we're too far behind Man City. But Solskjaer said not so long ago, we'll never ever give up on the Premier League title. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so that's 8 years ago now. So they are the positives regarding Solskjaer. We did appoint him in as Manchester United manager in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. The main reason we gave him the job permanently a couple of years ago was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin and all of that. Some United fans do believe that we give him the job too soon, and maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide on whether to give him the job. And some Man United fans in general thought we made a mistake by giving him the job permanently. Because some United fans think Solskjaer's in a position that he shouldn't be really in, but I've got to say he is our best manager since Ferguson. We're going to get rid of quite a few players in the summer transfer window. It looks very, very likely that Edison Cavani is going to be leaving the football club. Solskjaer recently said, though, that Edison Cavani's future has not 100% been decided. Solskjaer recently hinted that Cavani will leave Man United in the summer. Cavani recently had a meeting with Manchester United and he asked to leave Manchester United to join Boca Juniors. I presume a lot of United fans who want Cavani to stay for next season, so too will Solskjaer. So I'll be disappointed if he goes in the summer because he has made an impact since he's come in and sustained a few injuries as well at Man United. A lot of Man United fans are saying that we need to offload Anthony Martial in the summer because he's been out of form for the vast majority of this season. Martial's out with a knee injury at the moment anyway. It's very, very likely he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. Martial sustained a knee injury whilst he was on international duty with France. Juan Mata also expects us to offload him. Donny van der Beek, we could offload him. I think we should anyway because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United. Matic, I think there's a good chance we'll offload him because he isn't one of our first choice midfielders. Paul Pogba could still leave Man United in the summer transfer window, but I hope not. Phil Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him. Axel Tuanzebe could offload him as well because he doesn't get in our 11. Diego Dalot, I think we'll be looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Romero, I'm expecting us to offload him. And De Gea, there's a good chance that we'll sell him in the summer transfer window. But there's quite a lot of United fans that think it would be a mistake to let De Gea go in the summer transfer window. So obviously we sell players in the summer transfer window, will generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. There's a lot of players that'll stay at Man United though in the summer transfer window, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. Now obviously, the news on Eric Bailly. It was confirmed yesterday that Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Manchester United until 2024. There's also an option of a further year. So now we know Eric Bailly is staying at the club. Bailly had like a year left on his current contract before he signed this new contract. Luke Shaw he's set to sign a new contract. Recent reports have said that Man United will offer Luke Shaw a new 5-year contract worth around 180 grand a week, reflecting on his good performances, that is. So we'll be giving him like a £30,000 pay rise. But like I say, nothing's changed at Man United in the last 8 years. You know, we have been playing catch up, haven't we? Let's be honest. You know, we've had different managers with different philosophies. The three managers we've sat since Ferguson was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, and we're not even really known as a sacking football club. Like I mentioned, we've overpaid for players. We've spent over £1 billion on players in the last 8 years, and we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. We've only won, 4 trophies as well since Ferguson retired. The FA Cup under Van Gaal, the Europa League, the League Cup under Jose Mourinho, and the Community Shield, if you want to count that. I do think mistakes have been made, though, in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.